Okay, everybody, just thought maybe I would get a little more content here, so just stepped into Brother Dwight's house, and once again you can see all the cedar that he put up here, and we'll just take a peek at this. Is Sister Ann's songbook and her little piano she plays here. I believe this is Brother Dwight here. I gotta get the right light, but this is him here, and I guess he carved this. I guess Joe said that he carved this somehow. God is love. I have found the one whom my soul loves. There he is there in the army with his little Avon bottles. So, and then here's a pair of his boots here, cowboy boots, and a cowboy holding a saddle there, and some horses, and a photo of Brother Branham. Here's some Conestoga wagons, I believe that's what they called them, and a picture of the Lord rescuing a little lamb over the edge of cliff there. That's always like that. I always like that picture. Here's Brother Branham here. He was a young man, and that must Sister Mita, Brother Branham, and just some different photos in there. This is Brother Dwight's little study. It's about 4 feet wide by 4 feet wide, but it's got a little recording mixing board here with some, and everything's it's all insulated with this foam here, and it's a microphone. So and there he is. There he is right there. Those are his ashes. So, but at any rate, yep. So this is his little study where he used to pray and so on and so forth. So shut that light off, and I go through the rest of the house, but I think that's plenty right there. So anyhow, thanks for being here with us and praying for everybody in the family, and we'll talk to you here in just a little bit. I'm going to sit down and visit with Sister Ann and just enjoy my afternoon here until Evelyn gets back. So we'll talk to you later, and once again, thanks for your prayers. God bless. Bye-bye. Hello everybody, Shannon here from the Backwoods Boys. Hey, I'm here in Vail, North Carolina at my best friend's house, Brother Joshua Dwight Hall. He's the gentleman that does the introduction video on my YouTube channel, and has wrote a lot of albums for me, and he's written many albums. He's a country western cowboy and Indian gospel singer, and he also wrote a lot of other stuff, and he was just a tremendous person, and came out here to visit him, but didn't know it, but I was actually going to be going to his funeral, and we had his funeral, I believe, well, we had it Thursday. So anyway, this is his home, and I'm just going to pan around a little bit here. We're in North Carolina. I've never been to North Carolina before, but I'm learning how to eat liver mush and hush puppies and things like that. So, but yeah, this is his home. And Sister Ann is still living here, and behind me in that house there that you see is his daughter that lives there. Her name is Evelyn. Evelyn and I were both born in 1966, so we're we're like brother and sister there, and we I don't know, we just have a lot in common. These folks have taken me in and treated me like their own, and actually I'm one of their sons now, because Brother Dwight was like a dad to me, and they've offered to give me some ashes to take back to Montana. So at any rate, I just wanted to come on down here, and I'm just gonna turn around here. This is the little church here that Brother Dwight put together, called Little Flock Tabernacle, and it's basically just a large storage shed that he converted into a little church. He used to have a little place down here across the road, and a flood came in. There's a creek down there, and there was a flood that came in and washed his church out. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago or something like that. 10 years ago, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I'm going to turn this camera around, and we are going to go ahead and go in and do a little video inside here. And we're going to go show you the little church that Brother Dwight preached in. I'm going to show you a couple other things outside here too. It's just kind of, all this stuff's very interesting, being in another state like North Carolina down south, with all this southern hospitality and just, you know, there's all kinds of different trees that grow here, like a lot of hardwoods. There's hickories and maples and cherry trees, wild cherries, and it's just really nice to be in another state and I'm out here in the south in North Carolina. So I'm going to switch you around here and notice some things. The guy just came through and mowed the lawn, but there was all kinds of mushrooms out here. I mean, they were just everywhere, and I got some pictures of it, but I didn't get it on video. He came in and I mowed them, but there's a few here next to this stump here, and they're just really interesting mushrooms, all kinds of different colors of mushrooms and things, this one's trying to deteriorate, and all the other ones are all mowed now. I was going to get a video of them, but anyhow, just a nice little church building that Brother Dwight worked on so hard, and there's a little planter he made here, and so anyway, we're just gonna come on up in here, and this little front porch here, it says, "Be a light to the world." So, and then here's the little wagon wheel that says Little Flock Tabernacle. We're going to go ahead and, here's an eagle down here. So we're going to go ahead and go on inside. I'm going to shorten up my joby stick a little bit, and we'll go right on inside and turn some lights on in here. It smells like cedar in here because he lined it all with cedar. So this is the little foyer we're in here, and we'll go ahead and look at some of the photos that he chose to put up here. And this looks like the Lord talking to so I don't know who he's talking to there. If anybody might have an idea who that might be, but the Lord's talking to someone there in that photo. I think Sister Ann did a couple of hook latches here. And so anyhow, here is a leather carving that I carved for Brother Dwight. I don't know, maybe close to 10 years ago, and it says, "Riding tall." And I carved a pictorial in there with a saddle bronc, and it says, "Riding tall, Dwight Hall." And then there is my little signature with a cross with an SP on it, and it's all framed in barnwood. So yeah, he really liked that. And here's another picture. There's glass on it. It's a little bit seeing some reflection here, but this is Robert E. Lee, and I don't see any title to the painting, but I'm sure it speaks words. There's a sword there inside of a military tent, and Robert E. Lee there. And just remember, we're in the South here in North Carolina and the Carolinas, and he's got a little table in there, and I'm so not too sure what this picture is, but some lady, or maybe, yeah, it looks like a lady to me, so I don't know who that is, but he's got a picture there. It looks like there's a little restroom here. that he put together. And he did all this cedar work and stuff. So, yeah, so that people could use the restroom here when they came to church. He had 2 people for the last few years, 3 actually. Little Lily came too. So now we're walking into the sanctuary. So Brother Michael, Sister Tony, and Brother Michael's daughter, I think Lily is her name, they all come to church here. So I never did see the full church. I could see it on the videos, but there's 2, 4, 6 seats here, and a seat for Sister Tony to play her piano on. Like I said, it's all, he lined this all with cedar and knotty pine on the ceiling here. So anyway, this is, Brother Dwight gave one of his, this is something that he always liked, these little snippets, upward thinking. He was always wanting to be real positive and always wanted to make sure we had the Lord on our minds. There's a puzzle here. It looks like, see if I can get the glare off. There's a puzzle with the Lord Jesus Christ and the rich young ruler. And like I said, it's really kind of hard to see. I don't know. Yeah, there we can kind of see maybe the rich young ruler a little better. I'm really struggling with my lighting in here, but there we go. There's the rich young ruler and the Lord. And then there's the Hoffman's Head of Christ, which was derived from this painting, the rich young ruler. And then there's the Only Believe sign. And then here is a photo of Brother Branham. And I believe this was in Houston, Texas. And there's the pillar of fire over his head. And they did an investigation on this photo. The FBI did, and they said it's absolutely 100% authentic, genuine light that struck the camera. Was not photoshopped or tampered with in any way, is what they said. And so he has a little right up here on a high cloud ring of mystery. And this is when the 7 angels appeared to Brother Branham down, I believe, near Tucson, Arizona. They let all the kids out. This photo was in Life magazine back in the 60s. And this is kind of how it took place. This is 6:10 p.m. This photo was taken in Prescott, Arizona. But I believe Brother Branham was down near Tucson at the time, so you can see how large this was. This is 6:15 and 6:30. But I'll just read what this says here. Hovering like a giant smoke ring and great cloud appeared at sunset over Flagstaff, Arizona, February 28th, and set off a continuing scientific mystery. Watchers struck by the cloud's odd shape and huge size took pictures like these 4 at different times from widely scattered locations in the state. Dr. James McDonald, a meteorologist at the Institute of Atmospheric Physics in Tucson, has been accumulating the pictures, using them as the basis for trigonometric calculation. He has made a startling discovery that the cloud was at least 26 miles high and 30 miles across. A lot higher. It was a lot higher, bigger, he says, than a cloud should be. The circle was too high to be made by a jet plane, and so far Dr. McDonald can determine there was no rockets or planes or bombers being tested nearby that day. He hopes anyone else with pictures will lend them to him, for he would like some more clues about this cloud 26 miles high, where no water droplets or able to form. It's amazing, folks. But it's when Brother Branham was praying up in the mountains. I believe it was the Catalina Mountains. Not 100% sure. But and the angel of the Lord came down to him. This is a picture of 7 angels. And I don't know that I can actually see those 7 angels, but Brother Branham described it in a few sermons. But there are 7 angels. I think that might be one of them right there. But there were 7 angels that came down to him and spoke to him and told him to go west and preach the 7 seals. So at any rate, this is, I can't remember, they told me what the name of this guitar was, but it's, you can play it on your lap. It has more of a tinnier sound to it, of course. It's kind of sort of like banjo type, but I'll just go ahead and strum it a little bit. Whoops. Beautiful. And this is a ukulele that he was playing because he formed a trigger finger, or a few of his fingers were locking up on him, so he set the guitar down for a while. So anyhow, I'm going to come back here. Looks like there's a little bit of sound equipment in here, and some tissue papers and things. And there's his Altoids that he always had to take because he had a cough in his lungs, and that's what eventually killed him, was congestive heart failure, and that's why he had a cough. These are only believe songbooks with additions. Let's just, I think there might be a couple of things. There's that photo of William Branham, and we'll go to the back. These are kind of special songbooks. We use these same songbooks in our church. There's the Pillar of Fire again, and they would always, you could order them and have your own church put on there. Little Flock Tabernacle, Brother Dwight Hall, Pastor, 639 Duffy Powell Lane, Vail, North Carolina. So, anyhow, now I'd like to say this. Brother Dwight and I kind of butted heads on this a little bit. It's interesting. But he said that he had the revelation that this is the way these photos were to be displayed. Brother Branham on the left, and I think he said that he put it that way because the angel of the Lord always stood on his left-hand side when he was ministering. And but at any rate, I always put the Hoffman's Head of Christ on the left, and I put this one on the right, because I always liked them kind of pointing towards each other and looking kind of more focused, you know, and it makes it look like that picture, he's looking off to the right and Brother Branham's looking off to the left. So if this one was over here, it would kind of be pointing this way, and if that one was over there, it'd be pointing that way. And I just kind of liked it that way, and just seemed to be pretty balanced that way. But Brother Dwight, I had talked to him about it, and he said, "No, this is the way I see it." I said, "Okay, brother, that's great. I love you." And it's not a big deal. I mean, it's just a little something. It's kind of comical, you know. Brothers they're allowed to, you know, have differences and even little spats, or not really arguments, but you know what I'm saying. And you can razz each other a little bit and so on and so forth. But I really miss Brother Dwight. Kind of miss him ministering behind this pulpit here, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again one day. And I'm trying to get his funeral up on Facebook, but for some reason the audio cuts out about 35 minutes in. It's an hour and 20 some odd minutes long, so I think the Facebook platform is struggling to try to keep up with that audio or something. So I'm downloading it currently to my Backwoods Boys folder, and then from the folder I can put it into my channel, And I'm kind of hoping that the whole funeral will be able to be seen. You can also see it on Little Flock Tabernacle site. Brother Michael filmed it. I was able to be standing off to the side and get a little different view of the whole service. And his son threw a curveball at me at the end of the service, and asked me to come up and say a few words. Just floored me. Really shocked me. Because it was actually, I kept telling myself, I said, this isn't about you, Shannon. This is about Brother Dwight and his family. And but I kept telling the Lord, I said, boy, it sure would be nice to get up and say something. And it wasn't on the plan or the, wasn't part of the itinerary of the funeral to have me get up and speak. But I don't know, I guess the Lord seen my heart. And the brother looked over at me and he says, I'm getting ready to close here. He said, before we close, I want to have this brother from Montana come up here and say a few words. And I did a terrible job, probably. I didn't even know I was going to get up there and say anything. So, of course, I fell apart like I am right now. And I didn't want to be real long. I had so much stuff I could have said. So I tried to cram it all in there and do the best I could, but what an honor. And the family has agreed to give me some ashes to take back to Montana with me. And they said, because you're like one of his sons. So I just was able to meet a family of really actual brothers and sisters. I'm not talking about brothers and sisters in Christ, which they are. They are my brothers and sisters in Christ. But really, like my new adopted family. I knew Evelyn, but I hadn't met Paul or Ken or Joe. And they have just taken me in like their real brother. I'll tell you, it's really something. It's really, really, really something. So, anyhow, here we are in the Little Flock Tabernacle. And I think Sister Ann's coming in right now. So, here she is. I didn't expect her to come in, but she's going to grab a leaf blower. So, anyhow. So, she is such a blessing. God be with her. Look at her. The lawn mowing guy just came and she's gonna blow all the grass off of the walkway coming in, and God just be with them. They were married for 60 years, 59 years, I think it is. And now she's all alone, by herself. It's just major changes, and she's doing great. She's smiling and she's happy and she says she's doing fine. But I just pray that the Lord would just bless her and continue to bless her and take care of her financially. She's a widow now. And so it's just amazing, folks. This whole trip has just been unbelievable. Eating Southern food and all the folks in the cafes and in the stores and everywhere, they're just so hospitable, every single person I've run into has just been very polite and hospitable, and we've been having prayer outside of little cafes. We'll all get together after we eat and pray and hold hands in a circle, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful time out here. And so anyhow, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this little episode here that I'm gonna probably put on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel. So God bless you all for tuning in, and thank you for your prayers through this difficult time. And and I'll be getting better. It's just, I knew for a couple of weeks it was going to be rough. So, but we got a little bit of humidity here. I can feel I'm sweating. It's different climate than Montana, and it's nice and warm, and all the grass is growing green even in the fall here. When it's dried out in Montana there, it's still growing green here in North Carolina. So anyhow, God bless you all, and God bless you and your families out there, and always remember to give your loved ones a hug and tell them you love them, because you never know, it could be the last time that you have the opportunity to do that. So any rate, so I want to say to all of you, I love you and appreciate you, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the trail here on the next little bit of content that I bring out there. So take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
He gave his heart to Jesus in his 25th year.